world. Welcome back. Guess what it is? Time for icing the cake, making the icing. Okay, but first I'm going to show you. I'm going to flip this around. Let's see. I made the carrot cake before. If you missed the video, go back and watch my video where I made carrot cake. You're going to want to make it. It looks like my video is lagging here. Is it on the right? It's on the right Wi-Fi. It's just like, woo. It's like I'm talking and then I see it afterwards. It's really weird. Okay, hopefully this is going to behave itself. But I am going to... Yeah, it's behind. It's like watching a movie where the sound is out of sync with the picture. Oh, well, we're going to see what happens. Okay, so time for icing the cake. Again, this icing has 4 ingredients and that's all. And I have 2 cakes, so I'm going to double the recipe. And I am going to, I just got the, I baked 2 layers and I got 2 more. So I got 4 layers total, 2-layer cakes. And I've just cooled them about 15 minutes in the pan, and I'm getting ready to take them out of the pan. And I'm going to show you that first, so that way you can see the wax paper, how easy it comes off, how easy it comes out of the pan. And as I said earlier, I am a beauty guide with Climbing Life by Alcone. Normally I do makeup videos, but I like to do other fun videos too. On Sunday nights I do like a Bible study, piano playing, singing video, or Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening I do that. And I do makeup a lot and skincare, which I really like. So if you're interested in the makeup, it's professional makeup used by Hollywood, Broadway, the stars. It's the best makeup that I have ever found or ever seen or ever tried, because it's what they use in the theater industry. And for it to be under the bright lights and cameras and up close and stuff, it's got to be the best and the best coverage that there is, and that's what this is. And also the skincare is all natural. It has essential oils, things like cucumber, aloe, all natural ingredients. It's actually really good for your skin. It cleared up my skin, and I've had acne since I've been young, and it's like 99% gone now. I mean, you can't get rid of an occasional breakout once in a while, but you know, hormonal things and stuff go on and cause that. But for the most part, my face is cleared up now, and it's like I have different skin. It's fantastic. So if you're interested in any of that, let me know. And I'll be glad to let you try some samples or let you try the makeup if you're local, or if you're interested in selling makeup and being on my team. I would give you information on that as well. Also, if you want to see any of the videos, go watch some of my other videos on my page and you can see some of the makeup videos I do, and then you can see what that's like. So I'm going to flip this around. I hope this is coming through clear and not as strange as it looks to me. And I hit flip around, did nothing. All right, here we go. All right, there's my cabinet. Isn't that exciting? Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I have here first. This is my setup. I have a lot of peanut butter. You know why I have this much peanut butter? Because they were buy one get one free. That's why. Buy one get one free. But what I did is I have got I only picked these to I'm raising these off the counter, so I have a lot of airspace here because I think it cools them better. It allows the air to circulate. It doesn't make condensation on your counter or cause... When they're real down low like this to your counter, all that does is make your counter hot, which it doesn't necessarily bother the counter, but it doesn't allow the cake to cool very fast, I don't think. And so I have, and I just moved this over, that's not good. I have had this little setup here. I'm trying to do this and hold this at the same time, so I know I'm swimming everywhere, but just, you know, hold on. So I have them raised off the counter, so I think it cools faster. So sometimes I just use cans, you know, whatever I have that's the same size. So I'm going to set this up so you can see. Tilt it down. There's the 2 cakes I have over there, and then I'm going to show you. They're not too, it's a little hot still. Yeah, not too hot. It's not too hot for me to touch the cake. It's the pan is hot. So all I do, I don't even have to run a knife around this because of the oil in this cake. It does not stick, and because of the wax paper, it doesn't stick. So I just take it like this and turn it upside down in my hand. It comes right off out of the pan. I'm poof, just right out of the pan. Like I said, let's see how clean. That's because it's an oil cake. And they, you know, it's just like oil. Oil comes out easier. Okay, here we go again. Cake in the pan. Turn upside down. Give it a barely little shake. Comes right out of my hand. Alright, so these still have the wax paper on there. So I'm going to show you. All you do is take by the edge. Ta-da! Look how easy that was. Doesn't stick. Comes right off. And you do want to take that right off only because it lets the steam and the heat escape. You don't want to leave that on there, and they'll cool faster without that wax on there. And I'm not sure, they would stick on there if you let it cool on there. So no stick, look, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Perfect layers. Okay, so I'm going to let them cool. Now I have the other 2 layers in the freezer because I let them sit out, and I didn't put them in the freezer right away because I let them cool here on the counter, and then I put them on the plates I'm going to serve them on. And I don't like to put hotter ones on the plates because then the bottom kind of condensates and gets a little gooey. So I let it, the ones that I'm going to put on the plate, I let them sit out and cool a little bit first so they don't make the bottom of the cake kind of wet. So then I'm going to move this back over here to my mixer, and we are going to make our icing. And again, this is the most simple icing. I'm actually going to pull this out a little further. Now, I washed this, but look, I missed a spot right there. It's got cake batter on it. I'm going to fix that. Okay. There we go. So I am going to take 2 packages of cream cheese. Now for one cake recipe, you're going to want 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. But I have 2 of them because I'm, again, these 2 cakes for work because there's about 70 people there and they all want the cake. I get this open. I've got it out of the package. And I'm now fighting with the little foil wrapper. Here we go. I've had this sitting out on the counter, this and the butter, so it would soften. Open, put it in the pan. Ow. Slip. Hurt your finger. It's because my finger slipped on this foil. Okay. Now I've got that on my hand. I'm really not going to be able to open the other one. That makes your hands slippery. Alright, put that down. Okay, here we have number 2. And then for one recipe, you want 1 stick of butter. 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese and 1 stick of butter. I use real butter. It always works better for baking. Margarine does not do well with baking. They have also discovered margarine is actually worse for you than real butter because it has hydrogenated oils. It's actually less healthy for you than real butter. And real butter tastes so much better. And I use unsalted butter in the recipe. Unless it calls for salted, I use unsalted. Okay, so let's mix that for just a minute. Sometimes cream cheese, you know, it's a little stiffer than butter. I'm just going to give him a head start. Then this is, I happened to buy this. Have you ever gotten these little sticks of butter that's a half stick? This is real good if you don't use much butter because it doesn't get refrigerator taste to it. But I didn't realize, either that or they were out of the other. I don't remember. I don't exactly remember buying those, but that's okay. So that's a half a stick right there. And here's the other half of the stick. So that's 1 whole stick actually right there. So if you were making 1 recipe, that's all you would use. But I'm making 2 recipes. I know I'm saying that a lot, but I don't want somebody making this to accidentally do it wrong and go, oh, you said 4, 2. Okay, so there, that is 2 full sticks of butter for the double recipe. And this does not want all this butter to come off. Here, come on, get in there. This butter got super soft because I had it close to the stove. Well, that's okay. Now, a little more mixy. Okay, there is butter and cream cheese mixed. And then this is my vanilla. This is the super-sized vanilla. This is what you get if you're a serious baker. Because it's actually cheaper. I do not use artificial vanilla. It's bitter. Do not like artificial vanilla. Sometimes you can find artificial vanilla artificially flavored, it'll say, in these big bottles. And they seem like a bargain, but I don't think it tastes good. This is pure vanilla. You want pure vanilla. And you can see I got this at GFS. That's like a restaurant supply, but they will let you buy these big bottles. This is 16 ounces. It's actually cheaper in the long run, and it's almost out. It's expensive to buy this big bottle, but it will last for a long time. And like I said, it's actually cheaper than buying a bunch of little bottles. Now, it calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla for 1 recipe. So, here's a teaspoon. Here's 2 teaspoons. Okay, that would be if you were just making 1. But as we know, I'm making 2. So we're going to do 2 again. If you accidentally pour a little too much, it's just that much better. Okay, mix. Okay, then for 1 recipe, you want 1 box of powdered sugar, but I'm making 2 recipes, so this is the equivalent of 2 boxes. It's the bag. The bag is 32 ounces, and the box is 16 ounces, so I'm going to put this whole bag in for 2 cakes. And it's probably going to be quite a mess. All right, where did my scissors go? Here they are. So this is all that goes in it. Stick of butter, 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, butter softened too, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 1 box of powdered sugar for 1 recipe. I am going to try to not make a mess with this. I'm going to put some of this in and then mix and then do it again. Or I'm going to have this everywhere. Icing, you can really beat that if you want to, and it's not going to hurt it. Okay, here's the rest of this bag. Alright, let's throw that away. The trash can's like across the world over here. Okay, here we go. Start out slow. Oh yeah, he wants to dump. Come on. It's like an avalanche of snow. Florida snow. It's not cold. Ooh. Well, that makes a slappy noise, doesn't it? Okay, there we go. Pretty well mixed. Lower this one. This is different. This is different than the smaller KitchenAids that this lifts. On mine, this doesn't lift. This lowers. And so I lower it. Then you have to take off the paddle. And this paddle didn't come with this. I actually bought this one separate. If you have one of these KitchenAids, I recommend getting this paddle. This paddle is a like silicone. It's golly messy right now, but it's got silicone edges. See right here? It's like rubber. And you don't ever have to scrape the bowl. Hi! That scrapes the bowl as you go. See, it's rubber. It scrapes the bowl for you. It's fantastic. So much less work than, because you have, normally when you make something, you gotta stop and scrape the bowl, stop and scrape the bowl, stop. Not with this mix paddle, you don't. And I don't know why on earth KitchenAid, unless they've changed since I bought mine. I don't know why they don't come with this. Because why do you want the one that doesn't scrape the bowl? Seriously, why do you want that one? When you can have the one that scrapes the bowl. Because it does it for you. You just don't have to stop. And the one it comes with, I find never gets quite to the bottom of the bowl. Doesn't get quite to the bottom, which is very annoying, because then you've always got this little residue in the bottom that didn't mix, and you have to take it out and kind of mix it a little bit to get that little bit mixed in. And I don't know how well I feel that ever mixes in, but this one goes all, because it's made to actually rub the bowl. It goes all the way to the tippy bottom, and I'm going to show you the bottom of it. The bottom is split. And so that little bottom goes on, my hand has, I have this icing on my hand, but it goes to the bottom, and it rubs the whole little bottom of the bowl. The bottom of the bowl, sides of the bowl, all of the bowl gets rubbed with this paddle. So if you have it, I think I don't remember, I looked it up and ordered it, probably from Amazon or something. But it's a, what is it called anyway? I don't even know what it's called. Let's see if it's said on there. Oh, it tells me the website. I don't even know if this still exists. It's called www.beaterblade.com, if that still exists. But it's a, like I said, it's like a rubber, or it's actually a, you know, silicone or something blade. But it's just so much easier, so much better. I don't ever use the regular one, ever. I don't even know where it is. The one that's just like the metal one. I do use the whisking one for making whipped cream, but I do not use the metal one that came with this. Push that out of the way, because it can't compare to that. Okay, so those are going to be cooling. While they are, I'm going to move this, and I'm going to get mine out of the freezer. Okay, here's the ones that have been sitting. They don't have to be frozen solid. They just have to be not warm. Okay, so there's, yeah, it's just barely cool because it hasn't been in that long. So there's one, nice and firm. Here's the other. So these are the ones that have already cooled a little bit in the freezer. And like I said, you can do this in the refrigerator. It just takes longer. And why do we want to take longer? We don't. So I put them in the freezer. And then, like I said, don't have to be frozen solid. Just till they get not warm. And then I am going to put on the icing. Now, for the icing, I'm going to need to use about 1/4 of it for each layer. I go ahead and ice this part and the sides. And then I put it back in the freezer until the icing firms up, you know, like 15-20 minutes or something. Just go and you touch the icing, and if it starts to feel firmer and doesn't stick to your hand, it's ready. And then when your other layers are cool, then you can put them on top. And then I put them on top, and then I ice the rest of the cake. And then I'm looking for my cake spreader. Then I keep it in the refrigerator. Okay, I like to use like either a flat spatula, or this is an offset spatula. And these again are also, that's Wilton. See, that's the brand. That's a cake company brand. It's a good brand. This is an offset one. It's good for spreading icing, but I'm going to scrape it out with this because it's easier to pick up. So I'm going to kind of even it up here in the bowl so I can try to divide it somewhat evenly. So 1/4 of this amount for each layer of cake. So we're going to spread it out, and then I'm going to like draw a cross through it. There's one. So it's just kind of, you know, estimated. Then I'm going to scoop 1/4 of that out. Here, I'm going to move it here. Oh yeah, you can see. I'm going to scoop about 1/4 of that out onto one of these cake layers. And it's real thick, so I use this to kind of, you see, spread it on there. Okay, and then I'm going to do another 1/4 on this other layer beside it. Yeah, you can kind of see that. There you go. And then once I get it on there, I do this my own way. This may not be a professional cake maker's way, but I do not care. I do what I like, what works for me. So then I'm going to take, and I'm going to basically let it, push it over the side. And then when it starts getting over the side, I just take this and smooth it. So here, like that. Just, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that on here where you can see it. Let's try. I have to use my left hand, and that's going to be interesting. So I just push it over the edge, and then take what I pushed over the edge and smooth it. That's kind of the way I do it. Like I say, I make my own way. But hey, it works, doesn't it? Doesn't that look good? So here we go. Push it to the edge, push it over the edge, See how it's all gloppy there? Take what's on the edge and smooth it. Look, perfect, huh? My way may be unorthodox, I don't know, but it works, doesn't it? I gotta cover that hole. There we go. Okay, a little bit more. That's a lot. I'm trying to do this where it shows on this camera, but it kind of makes it a little awkward. Okay, it keeps wanting to spread off right there. So then, again, let me see. Yep, still not too warm. Once you take it out of the freezer, you have to be careful because you can think it feels cool, and then once it sits on the counter for a minute, it actually can... The heat in the center of it will start sneaking out. So, it's fine though. I'm checking it to make sure he's not pretending to be cool. Spread around. Spread, oh, get back on there. Spread around the edge again. I say I'm usually a little bit better at this, but I'm doing it at such a weird angle. How much further I've got to go? Here we go. Over there. Push it off. Most people that ice middle cakes, they don't do the edge till later. I'm a rebel. I do it in the beginning because I want to. I do it in the beginning. Okay. I just think it gives it a stronger base for when I'm going to put the other layer on. Because this icing is real soft till you get it chilled. And I want it to be kind of firm. A firm layer. It's just stronger. And as I said earlier on my earlier video when I made the cake, this makes a real good Easter cake. It's carrot cake and Easter bunnies like carrots, right? That's my logic. I think I'm going to get, where'd my bowl go? Oh, I put it way back over here. I'm going to get a little bit more. I don't think I quite put enough in the center. I try to divide it evenly, and somehow I always end up with more icing for the top. I don't know how that happens. So I'm not measuring it, I guess. So I think it's perfectly fine if I scoop up a little bit more for the center, because it's a little skimpy. There we go. Then I just take this spatula. These are neat. Just spread over the whole edge to even it out. Try to make it level. This is what's great about these flat or these straight-sided pans, rather than the ones that are angled. It's so much easier to ice the cake and make it straight, and the top layer will fit perfectly on the bottom layer. They're just such better pans. They're less aggravating to ice the cake. There we go. Look at that. Da, da, da. Okay, then I'm going to put that one in the freezer. There he is. Let that firm up. And while this other one, these others got to cool anyway. Okay, take my little cake spreader. My cake's gotten off center here. Over my edge. Spread it out. This icing, if you've never had cream cheese icing, you're missing out in life. And you need to have cream cheese icing because it's fantastic. This cake will not last at work tomorrow, I promise that. I think I've made 2 cakes maybe the last 2 times. I usually only make these. We have a dinner for Thanksgiving, and then we have a dinner around Easter at work, these potluck dinners. So I usually only make this a couple times a year. And I think I have made 2 cakes the last couple of times instead of just 1 cake. And still, there's not a crumb left because they are so good. And that's not me, that's this recipe. I am so thankful that I happened to stumble across this one because I didn't know it was going to be this good till I made it. And then people were coming up to me going, "Oh my goodness, that cake." I'm like, "Yeah. Yeah." They're like, "It's so good. It's the best carrot cake I've ever tasted in my life." I'm like, "Really?" Because even though I have eaten carrot cake, I haven't eaten it a whole lot because I don't like the nuts in it. And you have to fight a lot to pick all those little pieces of nuts out of cake. So even though I love the taste of the cake, I just usually didn't bother because it was not worth the effort. So I really didn't have a whole lot of carrot cake. Because almost everybody put nuts in it. So when I made this and people were like, "Oh, this is the best carrot cake on the planet." I'm like, "It is?" Okay. Apparently it is. Everybody if you like carrot cake, this is going to be the carrot cake of your dreams. And I think it's mostly because it has oil. It makes it so moist. And it really I think that makes the taste of the spices and everything come out. Okay, look, there we go. No, we don't want that on there. Perfect cake. Also for the freezer. Okay, so I'm going to put these two in the freezer. And then all I'm going to do when this other's cool is put them on top. Ice the rest of it with this icing. Oh, let me show you something with this icing too. And then I'm going to put them in the freezer and keep them there for work. Look at these little plates. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They're cute. I like holiday plates. I had to get them out because it's Easter soon. Okay, so now it's going to be a little while before I use the rest of this icing. Now, I do not want this icing to dry. And you know, if you just let it sit here, it's going to dry, right? So we cannot let that happen. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. This is a nifty little trick. I'm going to take this paper towel. This is actually, you know, these select a size. So this is three pieces. I want enough to fit over the bowl. So I'm going to take it to the sink and get it wet. So I get it completely wet, then I wring it about 99% dry. So you don't want it to drip or anything into your icing, but you want a wet barrier. That's what this is going to be. This will keep your icing from drying out. Doesn't even have to touch the icing, it just has to cover the bowl. So then I'm going to lay this completely across my bowl. You can also do this with a dish towel. Rather than a paper towel, just get it wet. Lay it over. Now, because this is a paper towel though, if I just leave it like this, it's going to dry out. So I have to now keep the paper towel from drying out. So all I'm going to do to keep that from happening is take some plastic wrap, cover it. You don't even have to do it tight or anything. Just cover it so it won't let the paper towel dry out. Then the wet paper towel won't let your icing dry out. And ta-da! It will sit there. Now, it won't stay there all day and night, but it'll sit there for an hour or something, at least. And keep your icing from getting, you know, starting to get that little crusty film on it. It'll keep it from drying out. Well, I have all these little tricks. Okay, there we are. There is making and frosting our cakes, at least frosting half the cakes. And that will be all for tonight. Let me flip this back around again, maybe. Yep, there we go. I hit it twice, so it went back. There we go. All right. Oh, and I'm in this bright light. You know, I never did turn on this other light. I usually turn on this light so we can, I don't know. I think I might like it better with it off. A little garish looking. Okay, there we go. So it is, what is it? Oh, it's about 11:30. Yep, definitely time to be done. So I'm gonna go to bed and get ready for bed now. Take off makeup. Use my nice skincare. So until tomorrow and whatever I decide to do tomorrow, I hope you all have a good evening and make some carrot cake. If you missed that video, it's just the one before this. Go watch it. Bye.